Well, welcome back to Chin. Today I'm going to be building a quick little shelf here, and I had done this for a friend of mine, and he was amazed at how I was able to keep the 2x4 fastened to the wall, and I'm going to use that trick right here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to build a shelf right up on top here, right above this window, to hold my small toy trucks. They're going to set right up on top here. Eventually this is going to be a whole shelf when I take the window out, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate real quickly on how to build a shelf up top here with just a 2x4 and no brackets. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, one of the things I'm going to need to do is where I put my ear protection, I'm going to move this and I'm going to put it over there just because I want the shelf to be seen a little bit better. Alright, let's see what we got for a measurement. And we have 36 3/4. So I got an old 2x4 here, so what we're going to do is I'm going to square this off and get my measurement, and that's what we'll start with. All right, let's go ahead, 36 3/4. Go ahead and pre-fit it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so there it is. It's all set to go. I'm just going to take a piece of sandpaper and just kind of smooth off the edges. I'm not going to get crazy with this at all. It's going to kind of fit in with the rest of the shop here. And that's about it. Just kind of scuff it real quick, just kind of rough it up, maybe clean it up a little bit. And I'm going to throw some black paint on it. That's it. So I'm going to put some black paint on this, and then I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes. All right, there it is. Looks really good, so I'll paint it up. And that's going to fit in really nice right there, and it's going to match in with the rest of the building itself. So all we need to do now is we need to drill some holes, 3 of them, one here, one here, one here. And all we're going to do is we're going to drill down about 1.5 inches. And I already had measured that out 1.5 inches, and I taped it off so I know not to go too deep. Once I do that, I'm going to go down, and then the screw is going to basically bite into the wood the rest of the way, and it's going to hold it into the trim, and it'll make more sense once I do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a place where I want to go in, and I'm going to go about 4 inches here, and we'll go about 4 inches here, and then basically just find your center and drill down just far enough so it just touches that tape. Okay. Same thing with this one. And once we get this up there, we'll touch it up with some paint. All right, so now what will happen is when we put our screw in, all right, with the impact, we're going to be able to drive that right down in there like that, all right, and I'm going to use this base right here to tell me that that's far enough into the wood. And that's all that's going to happen is when that goes in, it's going to go in and it's going to be about that far, and it's going to hold us up against the trim. I'm going to be using 3-inch screws for this. Just kind of bring it up here. Make sure it's flush with your trim. I'm going to do the end first. There we go. That's pretty rugged. That's not going anywhere. Because all we're going to be doing is setting some things on there. I might set some of my trucks up there, you know, to kind of get them out of the way, like that. Or maybe I might use it to put some tools. Who knows what I'm going to use it for. The fact is, I want to be able to put some things up out of the way. And that's going to work out really well. And I don't have to worry about all kinds of brackets. So what will happen now is I can put a little paint on a brush, and I can kind of paint those in to make it look a little bit better. And if I wanted, I could take the next step and take a little piece of wood or a piece of dowel, cut it off, and glue it on the top here, which I may. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top of these barrels off and use those for a cap to put on or over the holes. I think it'll be kind of nice. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little glue on this and just stick them on there. And if I ever have to remove that shelf, I'll just remove those little caps. And once those dry, I'll put a little paint on them. Well, there it is. I decided not to paint those. Those caps actually look pretty good by just leaving them the natural pine. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Later on, I'm going to take this window out and I'm going to continue bringing some shelves down inside this window. But right now, I can kind of put my trucks up there, or if I want to put my tools or whatever it is that I may want to put up there. But remember, when you're drilling into the 2x4, you want to make sure that you're only going to go in so far. You're going to go in about that far, and then you're going to take your 3-inch screw and you're going to continue through. That's what's going to hold that on there. If you paint the wood first, you may find that you might have to clean it up and touch it up a little bit with some paint. But as you can see, it wasn't a big deal for me because the paint was dry. If you pre-drill it first and then paint it, maybe you might be better off with that. It's really up to you. And you don't have to cover the holes if you don't want to. Well, there it is, a quick and basic shelf. I've built a lot of different shelves, and I've got a lot of others that I want to do. So I hope this helps you with your shelf problem, and stay tuned for the next one.